Thank you. All right. Hey guys. Hey Facebook world. What's going on? Actually, it doesn't look like it's gone live on Facebook world. Maybe it has. Anyone want to comment if we're live? Oh my gosh. Can someone please do me a favor? Is anyone happy to do... I got a request for a voice recording tonight. Is anyone happy to record it on their phone? Darren, do we have a winner? Thank you so much. Hey Mikey, does this look like this is on?
Yeah, it says live.
Okay, great. Okay guys, welcome! Yay! Torah learning in LA. I'm so happy to be here. So before anything, Mikey Pauker came to town and I was like, oh my gosh, one of my favorite musicians is like right here. And I was like, Mikey, will you please open the shiur with some music? And he said, sure. So we have a special treat tonight. Are you starting Great Spirit? So tonight we're learning about Kabbalah. We're going to learn the basics of Kabbalah because the original Kabbalist was actually Avraham. And Avraham's whole journey was what? Does anyone know? Lecha, Parshat Lecha. He was trying to find Hashem, the Great Spirit. And so Mikey just released this new song called Great Spirit. And in my opinion, it's quite gorgeous. And so I thought it'd be a great way to open our hearts. So just... thank you for being here. We're going to do thank yous and dedications in a sec, but we're starting off like that. And cool. Do you feel happy to stand in front of the Facebook world?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay,
yeah.
sweet.
All right. Hold my hand, Great Spirit, and dance with me tonight. Guide my step, Great Spirit, and walk me towards the light. Guide our steps tonight. Please teach me how to stride with my head up when I'm all alone, restless in this hotel room. Send me my guardians, I need proof. Please free me from my patterns and stories that hold me back. Yes, Jah, I need you. Give me a heart to feel 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 you, yeah. Give me a heart. Will you sing that with me? Here we go. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. Please teach me how to stride with my head up when I'm all alone, restless in this hotel room. Send me my guardians, I need proof. Please free me from my patterns and stories that hold me back. Yes, Jah, I need you. Give me a heart to feel 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 you. Yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. 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 Yeah. Give me a heart. Let me hear your voices. Come on. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Yeah. Give me a heart heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. One more time, just you. Give me a heart to feel you. Again. Give me a heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you. Give me a heart to feel you, yeah. Give me a heart to feel you.
Mikey, is your vibe to be done, or is your vibe to be done, or to do another? You're done. You're good.
We can do another.
You want to do like a, like what's your whatever you feel.
We could do Nigun. We'll do Nigun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
As this is like such a big honor. Mikey's like just got off tour from like touring like for the last few months, and we're like so lucky to catch him in this moment. Yeah. Yeah. Blessed us. We're so fortunate.
Y'all know the Baal Shem Tov?
Yeah.
Heard of that guy? This is the melody I learned when I was living in Nachlaot 10 years ago in my super Hasidic days. I had to pay going to shops in the old city, studying at Simchat Shlomo. Rabbi Bra, I miss you, I love you. I still remember what it was like to wake up. Anybody ever been to Jerusalem? Oh yeah. Wake up, go to mikvah, go study some Tanya, walk through the city, and you got fresh borekas. Fresh cheese. You're just like, hey, I'm gonna go walk to the wall. I'm just gonna go pray there. You just go walk. How crazy is that? So, I learned this melody. They said that this is the melody of the Baal Shem Tov, the rabbi that would sing the songs of the birds and hear the song of the birds, and sing the songs of the rivers and hear the songs of the rivers. Who else? Who can do that? Solomon. So I dedicate this to Solomon. I dedicate this to Baal Shem Tov and to every single person here who has. You all have special powers, and may we continue to find those gifts in accordance with Hashem as we move forward. So when we sing this melody, let's invoke that spirit. So the melody goes like this. You'll catch on.
the
start
wind.
learning Torah?
Hazak Baruch.
That's so sweet, Mikey. Thank you so much.
Oh, am I just gonna be?
Oh man,
Wow. I feel very quite grateful. Okay. So do your hearts feel a little more open than they were 5 minutes ago? Hey, new people, come on down. Before you sit, there's hand warmers, tea, and 4 kinds of soup, and alcohol in the back. Welcome. It's not personal. I do it to everybody. Sorry. Everyone walks in, they're like, oh my God, why is she singling me out? I'm like, yeah. Okay, hype. That's not working at all. 1 second.
That sounded a little bit like Ibdu at Hashem B'Simcha, kind of, you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's taking off. Let's do it. Okay, we need to take off a little bit. Yeah, with this song. Come on, friends, let's go. Can I get a little more hype just for me? Okay, my friends, thank you so much for coming out on a freezing Thursday night. I'm very grateful. We have hand warmers. If you don't have, all you do is you open it up, you stick it in your pocket, and it makes you really warm. It's super nice. This is a very, 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 very special night. And if anyone is standing and wants to come close, there's poofs, there's 2 chairs right over there. You know, make yourself comfortable. Okay, cool. Hold on, I want to make this straight so Facebook doesn't get a neck ache. 1 second. Say what? Cool. Ease the neck. Well, you know, it's like, you know, I really want to honor the people who are sitting on with us. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, Hashem, I need a little bit of help here.
Thank you, Hashem.
Thank you, Hashem. Okay, first to pray. Good timing. Hi, Hashem. Hi, Hashem. Hashem, you know what's so amazing is that we live in such a beautiful place, and even though it's already November, it's actually pretty decent weather, and we're surrounded by, please look around, it has been 5,783 years since God had the idea that we should all be sitting here together again. Isn't that nice? This is your tribe, you know? We're talking about Kabbalah tonight. We're going to talk about going deep. So what's deep is not what's the surface. What's the surface is like, okay, a bunch of us gathered. It's cool. We're going to learn. That's nice. But the deeper level is that each and every single one of us have a soul fixing with each other. That's why we're here tonight. I have to be across from you because it was destined that in my lifetime, we would have to meet and interact. So if you're next to somebody at the soup bar, open your heart and be like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this all my life. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't in any of my notes. That just came out. Guys, come on. Hook me up. Okay, cool. So yeah, Hashem, thank you so much for this night. Hashem, thank you for our next hour of learning. Please help it really open our hearts, Hashem. Help me get myself out of the way so that you could channel through. And please, I ask everybody and I invite everybody like I always do. If you listen with the intent to keep one message in your heart, you will likely walk away with it. Okay, so I really encourage everyone while you're listening to listen actively and be like, is this my jam? Is this my jam? Is this what I'm going to give over at Shabbat dinner tomorrow night? So just, yeah, do I get thumbs up on that? Everyone agrees? Take one thing to learn. And then what I love the most is at the end of this year when you share with the person next to you. Okay, so we have so many incredible dedications and sponsorships tonight. It's really incredible because it's people from all over the world that just want you to have a beautiful night of Torah learning. Like in and of itself, that is so beautiful. that there's a family called the Jewish people that like will send in money so that some people in LA could have a chill night together in holiness. That's enough of a shir. We're so awesome. Okay, cool. But beyond all of that, we're gathering tonight because I was on the phone with Erez, and he was like, I was like, I don't know if I should do a shir, maybe I should do a shir, maybe I should not do a shir. And he casually mentions, oh yeah, well, because you know, Thursday night is my mom's second yard site. And I was like, well, that's it, we're doing a shir. So this whole shir came together in honor, in memory of Erez's beautiful mom and the boys' beautiful, what they call her, Savta? 2 years, it's so fresh, you know? Like it's so fresh. And Erez and his mom had such a beautiful, loving connection. He cherishes her. He dedicates his life work to her. So for the yard site tonight of Frida Levona Bat Shalom. Also, can we get an amen? That's his mama. Yo, what's up, Frida? We hope you party with us. We hope you're like having like the best time up there. I hope you're hanging out with my mom. And you guys are like playing jokes on us from heaven. Yeah. No, my mom loved jokes. And Erez's mom was probably pretty down with it. Okay, cool. So, you don't need any. But, okay, so we have a lot. Also, sweet bracha for your sister's Aliyat Neshama of Belina Bat Shlomo for the Balter grandpa's 1 year yard site last night, Yaakov Chaim Ben Sinai. And also for anyone that's ever heard this, okay, raise your hand if you've ever walked into a shul or the Happy Minyan or in Israel and you've heard someone say, Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Sing with me. Ay, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Let's go. Ay, good Shabbos, ay, good Shabbos. Ay, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. So why am I singing this? Tonight is the yard site of Moishe Good Shabbos. It was 1939 in Vienna, and Jews were getting killed for walking on the streets. And Moishe Good Shabbos didn't want to hide his Jewish identity. And at 6 a.m., when the people would scurry to the Karlibach home in Vienna to secretly meet and daven and learn Torah, Moishe Good Shabbos walked through the streets of Vienna in 1939 going, Oy, good Shabbos! Ay, good Shabbos, ay, good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos. So Shlomo Karlibach, as a 6-year-old boy, opens the door in Vienna quickly because they have to get the Jews in so that no one will get killed. And this man walks up to him and he says, what is your name? My name is Moishe. And Shlomo, not wanting to break the nigun, goes, my name is Shlomo. And they go back and forth like this, and this is where Shlomo learned to sing, and it's Moishe Good Shabbos' yard site too.
Amen.
Yeah, and why is this amazing, my friends? Because of the following. We've said it before, but this is one of those Torahs that's good to like get in your kishkas. A yard site is the death anniversary, right? So it's a little like, what are you guys doing? That's such a weird celebration. But I'll tell you what's not. Because a yard site is the day where all of the light that a person brought into their life over the course of their entire life comes flooding back into the world. So Erez's mom, everything she ever did good, from the time she was born until her last day and their sweet farewell, all of that light, all of that love is flooding into the world right now, along with the light of Moishe Good Shabbos. So that's special. It's so funny, we didn't even start this year and I feel like, wow, I just love Torah. Okay, also for a healing, please take a minute in your heart if you know anyone that needs a healing. We're davening for Tamar Bat Nira, the 14-year-old that was in the terrorist attack in Israel. Amen. For the Lehavdil Refuah Shlema to Miriam Bat Ilana, Tzion Ben Tova, Kochav Aliza Bar Malka, Emuna Chana Bat Sarah Mula, Yosef Levi Ben Malka Frima, Devorah Bat Korin, Kalman Ben Helen, Shmuel Nachum Ben Eliana, Markiel Ben Frecha. Amen. And the sponsor who sponsored that said if we could take a moment and send good energetic love to Markiel Ben Frecha. So just like send a heart or something. Sweet. Okay. And so Lehavdil, that's Refuah Shlema, but we also have some amazing Mazel Tovs tonight. Daniela Hagigi, where are you? She's at Sheva Brachas. Daniela Hagigi helped us set up a shir, and she's making Aliyah next week. So when she walks in, we'll give her a great shout out. Please God. Also for Ellie, where are you at? Eli helped us set up, helped sponsor, and he wants to wish a B'Sha'a Tova. He's going to be an uncle for the first time, please God, next month, for Chaya Leah Bachana. Also, just some other shout-outs for Jessica Leah, and Shoshanim, and Ayala, and Chloe, and Shandel, and Shir Nachama. And thank you, first and foremost, obviously, to Hashem, but also to Ram. Where is she? Rami, we're in Rami's house right now. This beautiful garden is from this Australian queen who just, like, wow. God bless you.
It's actually my brother's English yard side today.
Beautiful. Okay, tell us his name again.
Nachum HaKohen ben David.
Nachum HaKohen ben David, Rami's brother. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, they should be so proud of you. He should be so proud of you. He is so proud of you. We're so proud. I love you. I do. So thank you. And thank you, Lee. Where are you, Lee? Thank you so much, Ellie. Thank you, Shira. Thank you, Daniela Hagigi, and Sasha, and Daniela for making that delicious tomato-based soup, and Erez for hooking us up with sponsorship, and his mom's famous Taimani soup, which is why it's soup night, because of his mom, and Layla when she's coming, and if I missed anyone, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Bracha. Thank you, David freaking Pack, who is praying for all of Am Yisrael, and we wish him with his Chatuna this year. Thank you, Mikey, for opening us up. Thank you, Sarah K. and Kashani Gudovich, for being our angel. She provided us with all these hand warmers. Amen. And she asks that we daven for all the singles to be married to their Zivug Hagun with ultimate and revealed Shalom Bayit and lots of healthy, holy Torah-loving babies and Mashiach now. Okay, and now we can get this party started. What'd you say? Chazak Baruch? All right. So, guys, we're going to start with a little bit of the story. Is everyone okay? I need some reassurance.
Let's get some drinks.
It's bubbly water.
I'm gonna get water.
Yeah. I found it. Sorry, bad aim. Okay, so check this out, guys. Hey, Tal. Thank you for coming, and Tal brought his dessert. Woo! Okay, so check this out, guys. It says, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to fix this again. Okay. Who here just loves David Sachs as much as I do? Okay, so David Sachs brings this amazing, amazing Gemara, all right? And he says the following. He says, the Gemara in Avodah Zarah says that by the... I don't want to stand here. By the age of how old? When did Avraham start looking for God? Was he like a teenage rebel and he's like, yo, what's up? I'm going to start searching for God. Like, when did Avraham start searching for God? What do you think? Oh, you know what? I'm going to apologize. I'm going to take us back a moment. We just started the Torah a few weeks ago. And what happened in the first Parsha? We had? Breshit. Hashem created the? World. Great. And then there was Noach. And then there was a? Flood. And then, after the flood, there was this king, and his name was Nimrod. And he was like, I'm the new mighty king, and I want to build a Tower of Babel. And I'm going to appoint my homie Terach over here to help me build this Tower of Babel. You see, except for this homie Terach, he had a special son. And that son's name was? Avraham. That son's name was? Avraham. Okay, now we meet Avraham. Sorry about that. True. He was Avraham still. Very good. Very good. So now we're meeting Avraham in which Parshat? Good. Let's try that again. Which Parsha? Okay, one more time so you remember it tomorrow. Amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So David Sachs says that brings from the Midrash that from the age of 3, let's do this together. From the age of 3, Avram was looking for God. And you know there's a Reb Shlomo story that he was 4 years old. We told it here, I think. And Reb Shlomo went missing. Does anyone remember this story? Reb Shlomo Karlibach went missing from his house and they couldn't find him. And this is Nazi Vienna. You don't want to lose your little kid. So they're looking everywhere for him, high and low, and they didn't know what to do because they couldn't find him. So they ran to the synagogue to pray and they opened the Aron HaKodesh. And there was Shlomo hugging the Torah. I said, Shlomo, where were you? And he said, I just wanted to be close with God. Age 4. The next year, Shlomo Karlibach goes missing. He's 5 years old. They're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Shlomo is missing again. So they run to the shul this time to check the Aron, and he's not there. And he's not at home, and he's not at Rami's house. So they don't know what to do. And this time, one of the friends, they went up to the roof, and they found him there. Shlomo, what are you doing here? And he said, I just want to be so close to God. So it's not so far off that there could be some miracle child at the age of 3 that's already searching for God. And that was Avraham. And you know what? Does anyone know at what age Avraham finally meets God? When God utters the words to Avraham in this week's Parsha, Lech, Lecha, go for yourself on this epic journey to this epic land that I'm going to show you. When God appears to Avraham, he's how old? 70. We got all the answers tonight between the two of you. 75 years old. Can you raise your hand if you knew that? Oh, wow, that's amazing. So few of us. When God called to Avraham, he was 75. So David Sachs says that finally, and this is deep and this is for you and me. Okay, ready, new people? Check this out. David Sachs says that after a lifetime of searching for God, God finally appears to Avraham. And what does God say to him? Go find yourself. Avraham is trying to find God his whole life. And when he finally meets God, God says to him, oh, I'm so glad to meet you. Go find yourself. That's what Hashem wants from us. To find ourselves in this lifetime that we are given. What does that mean to you guys? What does it mean? Because every year we go, oh, Lech Lecha, go to yourself. And it's like, oh, thanks, Nili. We heard that the last 3 years. What does it mean for you to go to yourself, guys? Going once, going twice?
That's like what any really loving parent would want for their child. You know, like for them to really be successful in their own life, world, and, you know, be happy within themselves.
Oh, that's such a good... I literally never thought about that. That was great. Danny Goldstein from Israel says that, well, if any parent met any kid, they'd say, listen, I just want you to be happy doing your life and what you want to do in this world and what makes you happy. That was beautiful. L'chaim, thank you so much. Anyone? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Beautiful. The comment in the back is he didn't realize that Avraham was 75, which shows it's never too late, that's for sure. Especially a lot of us here may be new in the spirituality game or in the whole seeking God thing, and it feels awkward because all these other people around us use these like Jewish words like oy and mamish, and we're like, what the heck are they doing? And everyone around us is going psh, and they're like, what happened? Spiritual way of saying I'm impressed. Let's try it. Psh. Right, but if you're new to it, guess what? It's not too late. But what does it mean for you to find yourself? I would love to know. Anyone got? And if anyone's cold, the hand warmers are gone. Just kidding. There's tea. Yeah.
You find God by finding yourself.
Oh, you're saying, okay, that sounds like an intimate relationship. I like that. Yeah.
To come to a place where you totally accept your humanity and to be an acceptance of the totality of the human experience.
That was beautiful. Can you say that a little bit louder?
To be an acceptance of the totality of the human experience.
That's how you find yourself?
What?
Like if God was to say, Mikey Pauker,
Yeah.
go to yourself. So you would accept the totality.
It's the journey. It's the journey of finding yourself. It's the journey of acceptance of yourself.
The
all your
journey
emotions.
of acceptance of yourself and all your emotions. Well, you win because as a therapist, I would really say that the key to all of your problems absolutely begins with accepting yourself wherever you are. So I like that insight. Thank you. Yeah, what does it mean to find you? Can you guys, is it me that I can't hear? Can everyone speak up, please?
Okay, in order to find yourself, you have to get lost first.
Oh,
And getting lost means you change your habit, you change the things that you do, and you go somewhere else.
yes.
And other things happen. And then as those things happen, you witness how you feel. And how you be part or not part of something. And then now you have feedback on
Beautiful.
yourself.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah. Does anyone want my one hand warmer if anyone's freezing? I felt bad. Okay, Ilana, take it.
More here, guys.
Oh, there are more hand warmers? Okay, pass them around, please. I have Rahmanis that it's so cold. Yeah, there was
Now it's so cold.
hand warmers going once, twice. Yeah, please.
Eliyahu. I think Eliyahu said it's so interesting because he's saying you have to get lost first, and Avraham is kind of literally getting lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the sense of leaving his comfortable habitat in order to, like you said, you have to be outside of that comfort zone in order to see how you feel and then kind of navigate from there. So
Yeah, beautiful. We said you have to get lost to get found. Did anyone else want to contribute? Okay, cool. So my friends, I want to say like this. Yeah.
offering your habits.
where you go on, unless you first know where you are.
You can't go where you're going. Beautiful. You can't go where you're going unless you first know where you are. Well, what I want to say when I was thinking about this, because every year I learn this parsha, and it's so easy to say, Lecha, go to yourself. God's guiding Avraham to like find himself. But then I'm like, but wait, what does it mean to find yourself? So for me, one of the practical offerings I want to offer is to see if you're in alignment with what you truly want for yourself. You know, like for me, I could say that when I dove into the religious lifestyle, I was trying to do what was right, and I forgot about what was right for me. You know, and so I have to realign myself sometimes and check in. So, you know, I want to offer this piece of wisdom, which is what I've noticed, which is that in my life, when I was in difficult periods of my life, I could say that if I'm not in a great way, like if I'm having a hard path, I would want to ask myself, or I'd offer you to ask yourself, are you on your soul path? There are paths in life, but not all of them are our soul path. And sometimes when we get honest, when we see something is off, we got to check and see if we're in alignment with our highest vibes. Because remember what we said? Why does everyone always say when they don't feel well, I don't feel myself? Because we know what our self is, and that's like a high, flying, awesome place. Everybody knows that, right? Please raise your hand if when something is hard, you say, I don't feel like myself. You've ever said that. Look around. All of us, because we all know who ourselves are. These like radiant, epic, shining, godly, precious, talented, unbelievable souls. Just do me a favor, raise your hand. Yeah, because I was talking about you. That radiant, unbelievable, remarkable, talented, beautiful, caring, sweet, patient, all of us are that. So to realign with that. So my friends, is that for me? That's so sweet. Do I look purple? I look cold.
Not purple, but you gave out yours, so you came back with you.
Thank you, Shannon. Oh, did I thank you in the thank yous? Thank you, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Guys, what's the time? Because I know we started really late, so I want to reassess. Say what? I want to reassess my like little time. It's 9:20. Okay. So I'm actually gonna skip over most of the life of Avraham, even though he was like a rebel, anarchist. Okay, I'll go there a little bit. Okay, when Shem. Okay, when Avraham was born, there was a prophecy, just like when Noah was born, by King Nimrod's necromancers and astrologers that said there's going to be a baby boy born who is going to annihilate, your kingdom. He's going to take you down. So when Terach heard this, because Terach was in the advisory court, oh, by the way, you want to hear the coolest fun fact? Yeah. Does anyone know Avram's mom's name? Isn't that cool? We always hear about Terach, the father of Avram. The Midrash says that Avram's mom's name, sounds straight up like out of Star Wars, was Amtalai. Amtalai. Well, I imagine that it has to do with Emet, because there's the word Emet in it, but I don't know whoever just asked that. Oh, sorry, I just saw a voice in this. Okay. Okay, so there he is. He's born, but Terach hears that they're going to kill all the babies. And in fact, according to the Midrash, Nimrod kills 700,000 children. Yeah.
Rewind back.
Read.
Got her mom's name. Oh, okay.
Say what? Her Amtalai's dad was Carnivo. Amtalai's mom was Carnivo.
Yeah.
Really? All right. Thank you for teaching me something. That's so cool. I love that. Carnivo had a daughter called Amtalai who had a son named Avraham. Okay. So, where does he get raised if they're so afraid that, where is he going to raise him? So they put him in a cave. For how many years? Anyone else in our history been in a cave? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Who's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? What's he known for? Oh, just the Zohar. And we're about to start talking about Avraham Avinu being the first Kabbalist. Avraham Avinu begins his life by sitting in a cave for 13 years, much like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who sits in a cave for 13 years. Did anyone know that? Crazy. So by the time he was 13, the decree was already done with. So Avram got to come out of the cave. A few years pass, And guess what's happening? His dad is still up to no good with King Nimrod. So they're like, Avraham, come on, let's do idol worship. And was Avraham into it? Nah, not so much. He was totally a rebel anarchist. And actually, he says he was such a cool dude that he used to spin poi. That's in the Midrash. You know poi, like fire poi that they have at like Burning Man or festivals or whatever? Avraham used to spin poi. Yeah, and actually it says, you'll like this, Nathaniel, Avraham never, ever, ever complained. So check this out. So here's this like cool rebel anarchist dude. Everyone's like, there's so many gods. Avram's like, yo guys, I'm telling you, there's one. We're all one. Y'all are tripping. I'm gonna go spin some poi in my cave. Okay? But then it gets in a little bit of trouble because every good teenager has to get into a little bit of trouble, right? So his dad is the owner of the idol shop, and he smashes all the idols to smithereens, as the Midrash says, and he puts the big hammer in the hand of the biggest idol, and his dad comes home and he says, what happened? What happened here? What happened? Why is my entire store smashed? Now listen, you might just be like, oh, I've heard this story so many times, but Lee owns a really special store, and if I was to come to Lee's store and just take all of the products off the shelf, and if anyone wants some of Lee's products off the shelf, I recommend passing that around. Anyone? Going once, going twice? And I came in, and Lee came back to his store, and he'd be like, Nili, what the heck? What would you say, Lee? Why did you do that? Oh, God, there's no anger in this man. Anyways, Terach is really mad. Thanks. Terach is so mad that, do you know what he does? Terach runs to King Nimrod and tattletales on his own son.
Yes.
Did you guys know that? He tattletales on Avraham. And so what happens now? He gets thrown into jail for the next 10 years. Avraham Avinu sat in jail. Much like which other patriarchal figure? Yosef. Because Avraham's the first Jew, so you're going to find the story of Moshe. You're going to find the story of Rashbi. You're going to find the story of Yosef. You're going to find everyone's story here in Avraham. Avraham is the headquarters for the Jewish experience, for trials and tests that force us to go beyond ourselves. I have a friend right now, she's watching online. She's going through some crazy stuff, and she just keeps looking at me like, wow, I guess the lesson is faith, huh? And Hashem sends her like, ooh, like another crazy situation. And she's like, wow, I guess I just have to have faith. She's just like Avraham Avinu. So here Avraham Avinu is getting all these crazy tests. He's in jail. And finally, he gets out of jail after 10 freaking years. Think of how old you will be in 10 years. Anyone want to say?
21.
That was really quick. Yes, Dad, I know you'll still be 24. My dad is always 24. Okay. So then they take him to court. And they say, Avraham, are you ready to serve Nimrod? And Avraham's like, I'm sorry, I'm not. So they said, okay, so what are we going to do? What's the famous test of Avraham? We're going to
Burn you.
burn him in the fire, in the fire.
But he didn't burn.
So for 3 days, all of the townspeople go to gather wood. They're so excited to burn somebody in the fire. And we know this fire is the furnace of the masonry, the brick building from the Tower of Babel. And by the way, I have a friend whose grandmother's from Iraq, which is where this is all taking place. The first Jew was an Iraqi. Okay? Did you guys know that? Abraham was Iraqi. Yeah. So... Fabian, good point! So they throw Avraham into the furnace and the whole town is watching and they're so excited. But Avraham doesn't burn, and in fact the wood they throw in turns into fruit trees and Taimani soup. And he emerges unscathed, except for, guess what happens? They say to Abraham's brother, does anyone know his name? Haran. Terach Amtalai, Avraham has a brother named Haran. And they say, so who do you serve? Are you into Nimrod? Are you up with this whole like one God thing? And Haran's like, I don't know. Are you guys ready to jump into a furnace? You ready to rely on a miracle? You, Rami would, of course. Yeah, of course you and Rami would, of all the people here. The man of faith and the woman of valor, I would go into a furnace for the Lord, no problem.
No, but you have to, like whatever.
Like whatever.
No, but if you find yourself in a situation, like how would you find yourself in a situation where you're going to be put into a furnace? You're in that situation. You didn't ask to be in that situation. So you're in a position, you might as well be like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. Or how did I get into this situation and be like, question it. But you're there anyway.
You may as well have a good attitude about it.
Right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Well, Haran, he decided to go into the fire, but unfortunately, because his intentions were not full, he burned. So think about this, though, context-wise, right? We said that Avraham started his life for 13 years in a... Guys, you're going to have to do this by the end of the night. Avraham was... Oh, I'm having a little scarf situation. It's just a scarf. Everyone's going to be okay. Don't worry. Say what? I'm so lovely. That's so nice. That really helps my self-consciousness. I feel like the energy is so low tonight. I'm like, what do I do to pick them up? Oh my God.
All right, let's
Is
break
it just is everyone just like freezing until like everyone's like self-contained?
So, start back. Yeah.
Okay, so Avraham was born, and by the age of 3 he was
In love with God.
He was in love with God, just like Shlomo Karlibach, and then he was my hand warmers. And then immediately he was sent into a cave. For how many years? 13. Just like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who wrote the Avraham found God when he was 3. He went into the cave for 13 years. And it's just like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who brought down the Zohar, and we said that Abraham's the original Kabbalist, and we're going to find out why in a second. And then he's a teenage rebel, and he breaks his dad's, and his dad reports him to Nimrod. At which point they say, so who are you going to serve? So they send him into the in the fire. Say what? Oh, I'm so sorry. He went to jail. Bad boys. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do when they come for you? Cave, jail, fire. And at which point did you ever wonder why in the story it says that Terach was taking the family and they were already leaving Bavel? They were already leaving modern day Iraq, because at this point they're freaked out. Their one son just died. Avraham lost a brother. That's not simple. We're honoring Rami's brother tonight, you know? He lost a brother. And so they now have to flee the land of Iraq because they don't even know what to do. Now, Haran, by the way, had 2 children. Does anyone know who Avraham's niece and nephew were?
Sarah and Lot.
Exactly. Sarah and Lot. Avraham ends up marrying
Sarah.
his wife was his niece. Who raise your hand if you knew that Avraham was married to his niece? Yeah, Sarah was Avraham's niece. And so they start to flee. Is everyone okay? How's everyone doing? And as they're going, they're like living this whole crazy life. They flee to modern day. Does anyone know where Avraham's family flees? Guys, think. I don't mean to get like dramatic or anything, but like maybe I do. That's probably not true. I probably mean to get dramatic. I'm trying to be really honest, you know. You know, for example, Iran's in a crazy situation right now. So now go back and imagine the situation Avraham had to be in. It was like really a live revolution, a revolutionary period. Thank you, that helps so much. And they make it to modern day. Does anyone know where they travel to? Syria. Who said that? Good job. What's your name?
Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. I'm Nili. Nice to meet you. So, they get to modern day Syria or Aleppo, right? We've heard about stuff happening there. And they settle down and everything's as if fine. They're in a new land. And Abraham's still searching for God high and low. Never met God, never heard of God. No one's talking about God. They're talking about the sun. They're talking about the moon. No one's ever met God. Did you ever realize that? I mean, as far as Abraham's generation is concerned, like, who's met God? But he knows there's a God. He knows there's a unifying force. He knows that me and you are really the same, and this whole skin thing is just like a joke. Abraham got it. And then, 75, finally we arrive at the first pasuk of the Parshat, and God says to him, Lecha. Go find yourself, bro. You're looking for me. Go find you. I'm sure it was a bit sweeter, but... Now here's another interesting fact. Because Avraham and Sarah had a challenge in their marriage. Does anyone know what it is? It's actually something that happens to a lot of people these days. They were infertile. But you know what's interesting? Because this is old news. Most of us who went to Jewish school found out that Avraham and Sarah couldn't have children. But do you know what spins this in an interesting way? They were the first people ever in the world to be infertile. No one had ever seen a circumstance like this, that there was a couple that was united for years of marriage that didn't have. So this was a shock to the nations, and it was very confusing because Avraham had become a great leader at the time. Wouldn't that be like interesting or embarrassing or difficult if you're this great, tremendous leader and you've accrued a whole following and then everyone's kind of looking at you like, what's wrong with you? And wouldn't it be nice if we stopped judging other people when their life situations are different than ours? But yeah, that's in this week's Parsha. And so God appears to him and he says, yo, homie, what's up? My name is God, and I'm here to say I'm gonna show you to a land that's along the way. You're gonna have a children. His name's gonna be Yitzchak. What? Okay, I don't know. I was trying to get your attention. And he says, you're gonna have a kid, and it's gonna be epic, and you're gonna inherit the land, and I'm gonna tell you all about it with this special brit and this special promise. And to give you this special brit and special promise, he literally takes Avraham and he like sucks him up into the universe. I actually brought a universe fabric somewhere. And he pulls him up into the stars and he says, Avraham, count the stars. Now how do we know he takes him up into the stars? Why don't you just imagine, if you imagine the scene of Lecha in your mind's eye, that Abraham's somewhere in the desert, somewhere in Syria, and then and God's like, count the stars. It's like, okay. It says, Habetna. Shamaima. Habetna, grammatically, means not just gaze, but look down. So in the simple reading of the text, oh, hey, babe, you like my new style? Whatever. Roll with it. Shine bright like a diamond. That's right. Oh, that means lentil soup's in the house. Layla's here. So he's looking down on the stars, which means he's actually in the universe. You want to look up for a second? Imagine Hashem taking Abraham's body and pulling. Can you imagine your body? God like lifting you up into outer space and looking down on this world? Have you ever thought about Abraham's experience like that? God lifts his physical body, and the sages have a debate about this. Did he really lift his body? Yes, he really lifted his body. I don't know if he lifted his body, maybe. No, but everybody agrees. Not everybody. A lot of people agree that he took him up. But can you now just take for a minute and get psychedelic with me and imagine your own, let's say, astral projection or self getting removed and looking down on your life, your land, the world? What I love about Torah is that we learn all these stories again and again, but we don't necessarily take the time to imagine what it was actually like to be there. So another thing happens. Yes?
Also, he said he showed him all the stars, which implies he also saw the stars that were not created yet.
Beautiful. The comment from the crowd was he showed him all the stars, which means that he even saw stars which weren't created yet. That's beautiful. And it works with this whole metaphor of the offspring. But I want to tell you something. My favorite Torah, one of my favorite Torahs that I ever learned, and thank God it was going around this week in a lot of WhatsApp groups, is that he says to him, Avraham, count the stars, and if you can, so shall your children be. So everybody takes this and says, oh, the Jewish people are going to be like stars. But, you know, it's not so true, because of the tribes that exist, we're like 0.02% of the population. 0.002% of the population. So the Jews, like, we're not like multitudes like the stars. Okay, if you count the lost tribes, maybe. But that wasn't the real blessing. You want to know the real blessing? He says to him, Avraham, count the stars. What is he really saying? Do an impossible task. Guys, can you count the stars? No. And what does Avraham do? 1, 2, 3. He starts.
Sefer Yetzirah.
Ah, we're gonna get there. That's exactly where we're going with this. You know what he does? he just starts, because Hashem's going to give us impossible tasks. And he says, if you'll do this, Avraham, so shall be your children. Your children will be able to do impossible tasks. That's us. You know, in your life, sometimes you feel like a challenge is like just that. Like I can't. Like how do you really want me? God's just like Lecha, go for it. You got this. So shall be your children. That's our blessing. You know that BD Deutsch new Nike motto? Impossible is nothing. BD Deutsch is this Orthodox mother of 5 marathon winner who Nike. Yeah, impossible is nothing. So what's interesting is that while he's up there, guys, are you okay? You're very quiet. I don't know how to handle this.
We're very attentive.
Oh yeah, it's okay. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's why we are paying attention.
Okay, thank you. I need some reassurance. I know. It's still ego. I'm gonna try to get over it. Okay. Oh, that was wonderful. Whoever did that, thank you. Let me guess.
So comfy and cozy, and we're listening carefully to everything you say.
Oh, thank you. That was so sweet. Just yes.
I remember hearing maybe just this week that if we don't make it to be all the stars, then we'll be all like the sand, which is also amazing. But we'll be down to earth, but we'll be still amazing.
I'm game. I'm pretty sure that's how God feels about all of us anyways. Like the whole wide world, every single human in this universe, he's like, wow, you're amazing. I've heard about you. You're amazing.
Oh my God.
This chick a freaking amazing, yo. And that one in the back, I don't even know her, but she's glowing like Queen Esther over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, amazing. Okay, so yeah, that's a great Torah. I love that. So, but here's the fascinating thing. Now, Avraham grew up, and he was hidden in a... And then he went to... And then he was thrown in a... Fire. And then they had to escape town and they moved to... And then him and his wife, which is really his niece, they get together and they're the first people in the world who can't even have a baby, and he's 75 freaking years old and he's searching for God his whole wide life, and God soups him up into the universe. And while he's up there giving him blessings that his children that he hasn't had yet are going to be incredible, he also teaches him the secret of astrology, the secret of the stars, and the secrets of the universe. And at this point, Avraham becomes the original Kabbalist. Why has anyone ever heard this, that Avraham the original Kabbalist? Say what? Yeah. Yeah. So you wanna relate it for us? So does anyone know that Avraham actually wrote the very first book of Kabbalah? Raise your hand if you guys knew that Avraham wrote the very first book. Yeah. You're like, yeah, it's my day job. So what was this book called? Guys, Avraham wrote a book. He didn't just spin poi. He wasn't just a rebel anarchist. He wrote a book. He was an... say what? Sefer Yetzirah. Avraham wrote the book called the... One more time, Sefer Yetzirah. Avraham wrote the first Kabbalistic book. The foundations of the Zohar were Avraham. And for so long, in all of our discussions together, over the course of the last year of learning, I felt that a lot of the replies that I've gotten from the Chevre are, I'm so grateful for being filled in on the basics. And then I hear from other Chevre that are like, oh man, I got into this community and everyone's talking about all these Torah concepts and I have no idea, Kabbalah this, Shmabbalah that. I've been waiting for the opportunity to be able to give over the basics of Kabbalah. And so I figured tonight, in honor of Avraham Avinu and Parshat Lecha, I will hope to share probably, let's say honestly, the next 20 minutes of what the basics of Kabbalah are. Because we hear all the time Kabbalah this, Kabbalah that, but what is Kabbalah? Does anyone know? Because now we're talking about Avraham Avinu, who's not just the father of monotheism, who's not just all of our grandfather, who's not just this super cool dude, but he's the founder of Kabbalah. What? He's the founder of Kabbalah? He wrote Sefer Yetzirah. So what is Kabbalah, guys? What is it? It means to receive. Very good. Lekabel, right? You guys know that word, lekabel? What does lekabel mean in Hebrew? Latet velekabel, to give and to receive. Kabbalah means to receive. What? What are we receiving? Divine wisdom. Okay, yeah, for sure. What else? What are we receiving? What is Kabbalah anyway? What is Kabbalah? What is it?
God.
What?
It's God.
Kabbalah is God. Receiving very good. It's receiving Hashem, but what about what? Guys, isn't this funny? We are an educated crowd of religious people for the most part, whatever that means, and I'm asking you, what is this huge part of our tradition? And okay, or people are shy or freezing, or we don't actually know.
It's mysticism.
It's mysticism. What does that mean?
It's esoteric.
It's esoteric. Great. So we know so far that Kabbalah is esoteric. We know it's mystical. We know it's connected to God. What the heck is Kabbalah?
Everything else doesn't have to do with the five senses. It's beyond the human experience.
It's beyond what? Receiving Hashem's love. So, you know what I want to share with you tonight is the answers to these questions and what we actually do with it, so that then in every future shiur or class you go to, you will have a dictionary. If anyone wants, I brought pens and paper. Does anyone want pens and papers? Because for me, I have to take notes or I can't focus. Anyone else? You could absolutely record this. Okay, also there's hot tea. Nobody feels shy to get up. I'm not, like, if you need to walk across me, it's totally fine. Are there any more hand warmers going around? Does anyone need? Does anyone need hand warmers? Here. Start with mine.
Extra one. No, keep it. No, I'm wearing two sweaters.
You're wearing two sweaters, it's great. All right, I need like a whoop whoop from the crowd or something. Thanks, Ram.
Really. So just keep going. You're doing great.
Oh my gosh, you want to hear the really, really funny joke? Here's the really funny joke. What I'm about to tell you is that Kabbalah, one of the things that we learn in Kabbalah is about the origin story of the universe. And I'm going to explain it to you in a moment, but the origin story of the universe involves this process where God metzamsems himself. He does tzimtzum, he contracts himself because he's a infinity, and then we're trying to get a world that has leaves and branches and Waterloo bubbly water, and you're telling me that these leaves and branches, something is going to come from the infinite nothing? What are you talking about? How is this even possible? So God does this process called tzimtzum, and he contracts himself. So Rami, in response to your comment that I was courageous, I feel so courageous. You know why? I have to take the topic of Kabbalah, the mystical tradition of our thousands of year-old practice, and sum it up on one foot. I'm like, how the heck am I going to do this? This is crazy. I barely know any Kabbalah, but the little Kabbalah I know. It would take me 20 days to try to sum it up. And I was like, oh my God, you know, it's so funny. In order to make it accessible to the people, I'm going to have to metzamtzem. I'm going to have to contract and contract and contract to make it accessible. Kabbalah is about to explain us how God, in infinite form, comes down, becomes physical, and becomes accessible to me and to you and to you and to you. How you can have a relationship with an infinite being because God was willing to contract himself. That was really funny to me. I was like, haha, I have to do tzimtzum. Yeah, tzimtzum means contraction.
Isn't it removing?
Say what?
I was under the impression that the tzimtzum was the idea that God removed himself. So
Yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. We're gonna, yeah, I'm totally gonna explain the whole thing. Yeah. And a child is born through contraction. Thank you. Yes, beautiful. And in fact, actually, we're gonna get there too. So please remind me of that, and please remind me of that. So this whole Kabbalah thing that's gonna come down eventually through the book of the Zohar, which means light, radiance, shining. We're going to receive, like you were saying, the light and the love of God. That's the relationship of the Kabbalah. And Rav Iskowitz from Derech Hashem says that the closer you get to the source of the light, the more you get shined upon. The idea of coming into relationship with Kabbalah or the mystical tradition of Judaism is not so you can like look cool and walk around in all white and be like, oh my God, I learned Kabbalah. I'm like so cool and mystical. No, it's because the closer you get to the source of the light, the more you get shined upon. And the experience of feeling close to Hashem depends on how much the light reaches us. And the only thing that prevents illumination is, the only thing that prevents any of us from shining huge light right now, ready, is our ability to receive. That's why it's called Kabbalah. Because as Abraham Hicks says, and if you're not listening to Abraham Hicks, turn on YouTube and start listening now. She's changing my life. Abraham Hicks. Oh my gosh, just get started. You're going to be in high heavens. Every 2 minutes I text Daniela and I'm like, Daniela, life is so good. I am so happy. This is so fun. I am on a journey. And I receive everything Hashem wants me to receive. This morning I woke up and I knew that I needed to spend a certain amount of money on this year. And I was like, Hashem, I'm so excited that you're going to send me X amount of money. And I went to David and I came back to my phone at like 7 a.m. and $10 more was in my account than I asked for. I got the amount and $10. And then I realized we needed to spend more money for this year on certain things. And then I was like, Hashem, it will be so cool if you throw that much money my way. And I went and I ate some healthy protein lunch because I'm getting nutritionized. And more than that amount was in my account 2 hours later. Because the amount that your ableness, your willingness to receive is the amount that God can shine His light. So let's just right now, I want to take a minute, close your eyes, and tell Hashem how stoked you are to receive that thing that you've been, instead of desperate to receive, so excited to receive. Because the experience of feeling close to Hashem depends on how much light reaches us. And the only thing preventing your illumination is your ability to receive. Maybe tell Hashem that you want to receive it. It opens, it unblocks channels of pure light that can then flow from the root. And the root of Shamayim is actually upside down, so it's the root. That's why it's called Kabbalah. We can receive it if we please. You want life to be great? What do we say? What would you say if you just want to receive that? There's nothing to say, just receive. There's nothing to say. Just, I'm so glad that life is going to be great. You have to believe it. Okay, so what is Kabbalah? So Kabbalah is sourced from actually Adam in the Garden of Eden, in paradise, right? Paradise actually comes from a Hebrew word. What word does it come from? Pardes, right? Pardes is one of the, is a system of interpreting the Torah. 4 levels of interpreting the Torah. The Samach representing Sor, which is the mystical tradition of Kabbalah, starts in paradise, in Pardes, with Adam HaRishon. He's the original, the OG Kabbalist. Years later, we get through Avraham Avinu, because Raziel, the angel Raziel, came to teach him, and he wrote, we said, the Sefer Yetzirah. And the Sefer Yetzirah, which involves a lot of those astrological teachings from up in Shamayim. Say what? Yeah, the Sifirot, the emanations of light. We're going to get there. Oh, no, you're doing great. And we said now we're going to learn that there's 2 basic explanations of what Kabbalah teaches. It teaches Maseh Breshit, how the universe was created, and we're going to go there in a moment, and how Hashem runs the universe. So, here's how it's created. Are you ready for this? Sylvie, what did you say? What did you say when I said about Hashem had to contract himself to make this world? All right, let's start from the beginning of the origins of the universe. What was there? Nothing. That was so LA. Was that you, Eliyahu? Nothing. There was water. Ah, nice. You were in love. There was something. There was nothing. No, it was just Hashem. In the beginning, there was nothing. We said for an infinite force to become finite, it has to contract. You want to know something amazing? In quantum physics, if you look at the particle, when something goes from being a spiritual energy into a piece of matter or mass, there's a transition, right? So steam, let's say, cools down to become water, to become ice. There's a transition where at some point it becomes water, and then at some point it becomes ice. There's always a tradition when mass solidifies, a transition. And that transition, the moment that it goes from being a spiritual energy to a physical form, does anyone know what the physicists who cannot explain this, you know what they call it? The God particle. In quantum physics, the moment that something goes from spiritual to physical, they call that the God particle. So Hashem, which is just infiniteness, or Ein Sof, right? Or as Erez's book is called, Light of the Infinite. God was just infinite. And God wanted to create us. Raise your hand. God wanted to create us because he wanted a relationship with, raise your hand, you. You know why God created the whole universe? Because God wanted a relationship with you. Everyone point to yourself. Point to yourself. God created this entire universe because he wanted a relationship with Darren. God created this entire cosmos and the Milky Way because he wanted a relationship with Shannon. God created this entire universe and the Grand Canyon and the Himalayas because he wanted a relationship with Utah. And with you, Anna. The whole universe was created because God wanted a relationship with you. Isn't that amazing? So how does a baby get born? The mom contracts and contracts, but before that, something happens. A mom has to have a... Come on, you hippies. What do the hippie chicks talk about all the time? Your uterus! Your uterus! Whoever thought you would come talk about Kabbalah and learn about the uterus. But a woman has a very special part of her body. And this is the only part of a body scientifically that is designed for another. Now, homies in the back, I know you're just having a little quiet convo, but I am so ADD and undiagnosed and unmedicated, and you are distracting me. Dave, hook me up with the people in the back getting like on the quiet side. Come on, Dave. Dave, help me. Okay, you guys are great. It's me. It's true. Okay. A woman has a womb. A womb is the only space scientifically that is created for another human. In order for me to have a baby, please, Hashem, thank you, Hashem. I'm so excited, Hashem. I'm so excited. I'm not pregnant. Am I looking? I'm getting ripped, man. I've been working out every day. Say what? Okay, not pregnant yet, right. So, but the point is that if I want to have a baby, there needs to be a space within me which I clear out in order to make space for that baby, right? This is how Hashem forms the world. Hashem is the Ein Sof. Hashem is infinite light. And Hashem makes a space within himself. Check this out. Watch the imagery. It's really beautiful. Okay, everyone watch. I'm Hashem. I'm everywhere. I'm the only thing that exists. But in order for me to create something, I need a Hashem womb. So I make a space within myself, kind of like a donut. And in this space, and please correct me, I am not a Kabbalist, I am not an expert, double check everything that I'm saying, okay, please. And if anyone has information that I'm getting wrong, say it out loud. Not, I don't think I am so far, but like I just need to humbly come forward and say if I'm going to present the Jewish mystical tradition that I should probably like check myself. Doing great? Okay, just work with me, okay? So Hashem creates this space, and I'm sorry to get graphic, people, but we're going to have to get a little graphic. In order for a womb to be impregnated, there needs to be a certain line that enters said hole. Space. And so Hashem sends a line, a kav of light. The Ein Sof, he sends it into this space. And the whole world, the whole universe is created in that ray of light. This is Kabbalah, guys. I'm teaching you the origins of the universe according to Kabbalah. Isn't that cool? So Hashem decides that he wants a world because he wants a relationship with?
Me.
Raise your hands, please. With Mikey. That's the whole universe because you. And Chaya, he has a whole universe because you. He just wants to be intimately connected with you. And so he opens up a space within himself like a donut womb. You choose your weird analogy of the night. And in order to do the next, and then before that he has to have
Contraction.
Yeah, those very poetic contractions, weren't they?
And then he creates a Juniverse.
I don't get it.
A Juniverse.
Oh, a Juniverse? That's cute. You know.
Juniverse for Junior.
Okay, so then, now you're learning Kabbalah and you didn't even know that it's a metaphor for sexuality because Kabbalah is a metaphor for everything. Watch what's going to happen. Shoots the line into the universe, and when the line goes to the circle, we get a world, we get a new world, we get a new baby, we get a new universe. Okay, now I have to move quickly because, you know, all of Kabbalah, one foot's a little hard. Eventually, he has an idea, Hashem has an idea that he wants to have certain qualities in his world. These qualities are also known as the Sfirot. Beautiful. Sfirot are the emanations of godly light that he decides, what kind of universe do I want to create? I want these specific qualities in it. If anyone has ever seen the Kabbalistic tree of life, it's the famous Kabbalistic image, which, well, let's see if you could see it. Okay, this thing. Anyone ever seen this thing? This thing? The Sfirot. Thank you. You should come check it out. I feel like beautiful mind. Everyone seen this image? Everyone seen this image?
Yes.
Oh, I did. I worked on it like crazy for a while. Everyone see this image? So these circles are the attributes that God wanted in his world. The only thing is that originally it didn't look like this. They were all created, but when Hashem first put his light in it, it was too much. He poured his love into this world, and the vessels, these Sfirot are also called vessels. The vessels shatter. They shatter. And they shatter into what's called shards or sparks. Who here has ever heard of the word tikkun olam? We've heard this. This is like the most Jewish thing ever. Tikkun olam, fix the world, right? What does tikkun olam really mean? Tikkun olam means a repairing of the world, of the uplifting of all of those fallen sparks. To do tikkun, a fixing, is to uplift the sparks. To uplift yourself. To uplift the sparks of godliness in other people. That is true tikkun olam. And so, God tries again. And this time, when he makes